Okay, 103 is doable.
Just can you make it easier at least?
I'll make it fair. How about that? Okay. So there's gonna be two parts. Okay. Guys, quiet, please. Thank you. All right. So there'll be two parts, as you guys usually know, right? So you have a part one, a part two. Part two will be graphing calculator allowed. In fact, actually, you'll need a calculator to do some problems. Now, the one thing I'm going to caution you is that if you ask me at 12:29 before we start the final, I'm missing my graphic calculator, my battery's not charged. It's going to be hard for me to find you a calculator in that moment because I have to manage all of you guys and my other pre-calculus class. So I'll eventually find one for you, but no guarantee. So make sure you bring a calculator, make sure it's charged. I'll send you guys a big email. I'll even CC your parents so they remind you. But remember, you're coming for two purposes, your G period class and this class. Unless you don't have a G period, then just this class. So you're coming to do a final, right? So you should remember. Gus, go ahead.
Where are we taking
Yes. So non-ASC will be the practice gym. If you're non-ASC, okay, just sorry, my stylus is not working really well here. If you're ASC, you'll be the second floor library. Second floor library. If you're ASC. Okay. Anyway, part one is non-calc. Now, unfortunately, we cannot provide four function calculators. That's mainly because we just don't have enough. But also, we're keeping the math pretty simple anyway. We're just not allowing it. So it's more of a equity type thing. I don't know. It's just I didn't make the rules, so
Pretty simple.
I hope so. The arithmetic, yeah. So non-calc. If you have a combination, you will get it.
Right. Combinations actually say that.
Plus, you have an accommodation for it. Okay. In terms of point values, this will be worth 60 points. This will be worth 100 points.
The finals worth 160 points.
Well, it doesn't matter. I can make it worth like 10,000 points or 2 points. I can do the mathematics of it doesn't matter, guys. It's
the percent.
It's a percent. It's
right.
Yeah. Actually, if you think about it, it's worth double a test because we had 6 tests. The tests were 60% of your grade. We had 6 tests. All the tests went equal weight. So each test has had a 10% impact towards your grade. So the final exam has double the impact of the test, which I think is fair. In college, by the way, final exams are usually about half your grade or 40%. So it has more impact. So just so you know. Okay. Anyway, expect 9 questions here. And here, how many questions we got? Hold on a sec here. Now I'm getting conflicting. What the heck? Yep. Wait. Hold on one sec, guys. Okay, cool. And there'll be 11 questions here. Now, from a pacing perspective, okay, so you get 2 hours total. 2 hours for standard time. So you have 50% extended time, you get 3 hours. If you have double time, you get 4 hours. God bless you if you get 4 hours, but also that's tough because that's a long stretch. But 2 hours standard time. But designed, just so you know, it's designed for 90 minutes. So what this means is that you should have a half-hour buffer if you get stuck on something or you just need more time. So we didn't design it so that, oh, you're gonna be running up to the last second for 2 hours. Like, that's why I said 15 minutes is my threshold. If I can do it in 15 minutes, I've had a time 6 rule. That rule's been hard and fast for me for the last. It's time 6. I work fast. It's just the way my brain processes stuff. So, but my handwriting sucks. You know, I just go like really fast. But if I could do it in 15 minutes, then you guys should be able to do it in 90. So that's my rule. So it'll be designed. And if it takes me longer, then I have to reduce a problem, right? So, or if it takes me shorter, then I might add something. I don't know. So anyway, now what are the topics? What should you guys study or know, right? Without getting too detailed, you definitely should know logs, like evaluating. You definitely should know how to graph logs, exponential, polynomial, rational, sine/cosine. Let me make sure I hit all those targets. Yeah, also trig. Evaluate. Unicircle.
Oh. And this is no calc.
No calc, correct. And then matrices. As you can imagine, you'd be multiplying or adding or something like that. So even though this is not 9 bullet points, that second bullet point is very rich with a lot of different questions like that. It's like, if I ask you to graph a log, exponential, poly, rational, sine, cosine, that's like 5 questions right there. 6, 7, 8, and then maybe I might double up some of these here or something like that. So that's what you really should be focused on. Make sure you can evaluate a log, make sure you can do unit circle stuff, make sure you can graph all the top of those functions, make sure you know your matrices. Hunter, go ahead.
How many questions will there be?
20 total, because 9 and 11. It's on the board. 20 total. Yeah.
For both parts?
But it depends. So some people do like multiple parts. I don't know. It's just like,
The last semester.
I don't remember what last semester. It's a total blur to me. Also, we will provide some formulas. I'll get to that in just a little bit. We will give you a partially filled out unicircle. So you will need to make sure that you know how to fill out a unicircle. Just like we did in our trig test, you get a partially filled out unicircle. Partially filled out unit circle. Gus, go ahead.
Would you recommend like studying on each part?
So the great question. That's a fantastic question. So I would say for part 1, given the point values, do not spend an hour. You will burn. I will push you hard like after 40 minutes. So I'd say probably 30 to 40 minutes here. But by 40 minutes, I'm going to really kind of encourage you, like nudge you, like, hey, you got to move on. Because then you're fighting, like, because if you're fighting a one problem, like a 5-point problem, you have 100 points still left and you're going to leave yourself short on time. That doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah.
So you got to be efficient. That's great. I love that you asked that. It's one of the best questions I've heard all year. Thank you. Because yeah, you got to be mindful about that, right? Here, I would say about 80 to 90 minutes. Oh, no, I lied. I'd say probably more like 70 to 80 minutes. I lied again. I say about 60 to 80 minutes. That's what I'd recommend. Yeah, because some people might be able to do this in an hour, but maybe you might need a little more than that. So that's why it's like a test and a half. If you want to think of it like that in some ways, it's kind of like that a little bit. Might feel like 2 tests. Now for this part, what do you need to know here? And by the way, you still got to know domain range, you still got to know all the other stuff. You know, like asymptotes, all that fun stuff. Okay, here. I definitely got to know your inverse functions. And I put that on the study guide, by the way. So I think the study guide should have all these things I just put here. So definitely got no inverse functions. Okay, sorry, my handwriting stinks again. And there's a video on this you could watch. Ah, okay. One of these days I'm gonna buy a nice stylus. All right, here we go. You should know how to log properties. Actually, I wrote that question. Log equations, solving equations, let's say. So logs, sure. Three equations and three variables.
Is that the matrices type of thing?
Yeah, you'll use a matrix for this. Actually, you don't have to. You can solve by hand too if you want, but it'd be much better to use a matrix. What other solving equations are there? Actually, that's really it. Only two solving equation problems. Okay. Yes. Simplify complex number. Want to go? Yes.
So the matrices on part one are just gonna be like.
Adding, subtract, multiplying, right? Exactly right. Because then people just put in a calculator and get the answer right. Simplify complex numbers. Definitely know that. Simplify a complex fraction. We actually talked about that 2 days ago, and that's in the final exam review as well. Composite functions. What that means is like f of g of x. I don't know why my computer's so slow today. Polynomial division. Slash factoring.
What's the one above that? Above polynomial division?
Composite functions. Composite.
Whatever that's.
Like f of g of x. You plug a function into a function. We did it back in January. That's a while ago. I ran out of space here, so I'm gonna borrow some of the space over here. Don't really want to do a screenshot this because I'll probably do a neater one. I think what I'll do is I'll probably do a nicer one with my D period. I'll probably type it up and I'll do a screenshot of it. Also, you should know word problems. It could be finance. We'll give you the formulas for that, by the way. We will provide those formulas. Finance or exponential growth / decay. Actually, I wrote that problem too, but I won't tell you exactly which one we're doing. And then writing an equation of a polynomial. We actually had as a review question, right? We had as a review question on our last test. So, if you kind of think about it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I mean, there you go. Like those are 11 questions. So, and the review guides have all this stuff. I don't think anything's missing. I think review guides actually covers all these things here. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what you got to say for the final. So I would say just keep working through the review packet. If you see a lot of repetitive problems, but you got it, then skip and move to other types of problems. So Ben, go ahead.
Will the questions be like any different or harder than the previous tests?
No, they're gonna be all actually. I'll be straight with you guys. So the problems I created, the log problems, I went back looking at my old Algebra 2 tests. Like when I talk old, I'm talking like 10, 15 years ago. And basically just copy those problems, change numbers around and make sure numbers work out nicely. So now, so they're going to be right in line. And actually, we actually have gone back and looked at old final exams and try to copy those problems too. And those were also very typical standards. So no, we're not asking like brain teasing, mind bending log questions or rational function questions. If you struggle with something, it's probably because you just don't have the concept down cold, or maybe you're getting a little antsy or nervous. So that's why it's important to prepare, right? The more prepared we are, the less anxious we get, and the more we know what to do in the moment, right? So it's all about preparation, guys. That's all it's all about. So I'm giving you guys as much detail as I can without actually disclosing the questions. I'm kind of vague, but not kind of not. So, Alex, go ahead.
What's the first? I'm just writing down this.
Mhm. I'm recording, Scott. I'm gonna put the recording in Schoology, but yeah, go ahead.
Is that just logs? Like, what about logs?
Log properties.
Oh, okay.
Like if you have like two logs and you have to combine them or expand them, stuff like that. So
like multiplying.
yeah, and again, it's not like I'm compromised academic integrity of the final. I'm really just saying, hey, this is what we've done, and you just gotta just know it. This is what we've done. Bro, yeah, Ellie, good.
You get a curve.
Oh my God, you really before you've even taken it? Oh my goodness. Okay.
I'm just from hearing.
Okay. No, you know what? I'm glad you asked that question. I'm glad you asked it, because I should be very transparent about my rule with curving. So my rule of curving, three things have to be met. If the average is low, when low saying like it's like in the 70s,
Yeah.
like if it's close, well, if it's actually if it is like 80%, that's a little low.
Yep.
But like say for example, the average is 75%, right? That's low, right? Okay. That condition has to be met. The second condition is that if it was just way too long, like that's why I'm so keen on doing the test and make sure it fits with my pacing. Because if like everyone's working to the last second and some people just can't finish, then we messed up. We as teachers messed up and gave you too long of a final. So yes, of course, and that ties closely to a low average because people couldn't finish.
You ever use the test dummy?
What do you mean?
Like a kid? Check how hard the test is.
Okay, that's the third thing. Actually, you read my mind. So the third thing is that I will actually look at the top student and see how that person did. And if no one, I'm not saying I have to have 100%, but if no one can get close to 100%, if like the highest grade is like a 91, 90%, so if the top student can't even get 100% or close to 100%, then it also tells me that the exam was a little too hard or too long. So if all three of those are met, then yes, we do curve. But rarely it does, because we've been very careful about designing our tests. Then, no, early in my career, I had to curve often because I was learning. Guys, I've been this for 20. Okay,
Definitely a curve.
we did curve. Yeah, I think there's a small curve in the spring, but well, no, but that's because it came out that way. That's because it came out that way. That's because so those conditions have to be met. So that's why. No, how about everyone passes? Why the pessimism? Oh my gosh. Okay, but here's if I have to curve, then it's probably gonna help you that much anyway. What? The curve just means I don't want to make sure people don't fail. That's what the curve is for. That's the only thing. So actually, you don't want to curve. You want people to do. Guys, I'd be happy if everyone goes 100% and I give everyone A's in the final. I'd be awesome. That'd be great. I want that to happen for you guys, but you got to earn it. So, all right, I'm gonna stop. All right, I've been talking too long. I'll get off my soapbox. All right, here we go. I'm gonna do a screenshot with my deep here because I'll be neater. I did a recording already.
Then-
Yeah.